Cat, home of brilliant children's books. Meow!
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode, and today I'm going to be reviewing Sapphire Battersea. Now, this is the second book of the series. As you know, I read the first book and now this is the second one. So, in the first one, Hetty tries to find her mother. I'm not going to say who it is, otherwise that'll be spoilers. So, this was quite an adventure book, and it was much more adventurous than the first one because the first one is that she's mostly stuck in the foundling hospital, and this one, she's kind of going all over the place. But at the start, she's obviously at a foundling hospital. Also, I'm going to read the blurb first. A tale of family friendship, first love and loss. You won't believe your eyes. So, the characters are in this. There's lots of characters in this book. And it actually says on the book at the back. Some of them I'm not going to say because they come in later on. So there's Jem. He was actually at the start that I actually forgot to mention. And Gideon, her foster brother as well. So they're both her foster brothers. And also Bertie, the butcher's boy. He's well, he really likes Hetty and he takes her out of like, I'll tell you what, like when I get to the part. And Fantastic Frida, she comes in later on and she's really nice to Hetty. She works with her later on as well. Madame Berenice, linked to the spirit world, so that comes really later on as well. She links to like kind of ghosts and spiritual stuff that are like not alive. And Mrs. Brisket, she comes in like at the start of the book, where Hetty actually goes into service. So Hetty's actual name is Sapphire Battersea. I'm not going to tell you her mother, like I said. So Hetty, she's 14, and when you're 14 and you don't have a mother and father, you've just come from the foundling hospitals, like finishing school, just obviously a boarding school. This was in the Victorian times. In those times, 14-year-olds, they had to go into service right after. Like Hetty, I would have gone into service because I'm 14 as well if I didn't have any parents. Like if I was an orphan or something, I would just come out of the foundling hospital. So people who were 14 had to go into service, like me for example, if I was in the Victorian times. And that's what Hetty had to do because she was 14. So she went out to the foundling hospital. She was actually quite happy about that because it wasn't very nice there, as I actually explained in the first book. And she had to go to service to Mr. Buchanan, which is a very rich man, and he's actually also an author. And Hetty is really inspired by that. She's always wanted to become an author, and well, takes skill and stuff, and she didn't want to become a servant. No one really does. They want to follow their dreams. So Hetty, she goes into service, and she also works with two people. Mrs. Brisket, as I mentioned, she's the formidable housekeeper. Maybe I didn't mention quite that part. And Sarah, which also helps Mrs. Brisket with lots of work. And they needed another helping hand, which is Hetty Feather herself. So they needed another housekeeper because there was lots of struggling and stuff. And they didn't really care how old. Well, it doesn't really matter if they're 14 because you have to go into service when you're 14. But they needed another help basically. And Mrs. Brisket and Sarah actually look after Hetty, but they also have to make her work as well. But they're actually quite nice in the books. And she had to sleep in this small place that she could fit in because Hetty is quite small. She had to go into this, I think it's called the scullery. Yeah, she had to sleep in the scullery. She didn't like that very much. And she normally went in the scullery if she was punished when she was in the foundling hospital. So she never really liked it because it was dark and not very nice. But she didn't really have a choice. And well, they're actually really nice to Hetty, but also they do have to be quite strict. So Hetty does work like bringing Mr. Buchanan's tea and maybe his cakes and stuff, dusting the house, lots of things you need to do when you're a servant. But then she also has another character, and it's also, which I've actually mentioned, Bertie the butcher's boy, and he comes to bring meat to Mrs. Brisket and Sarah to like cook some more food for Mr. Buchanan. And he comes, and after Sunday services, he takes Hetty out on like an adventure, basically, like just going out for a bit. But he had to bring her back afterwards, like to see some places and stuff that Hetty's never seen before because she's been stuck in the foundling hospital all her time until she's gone to service. And Bertie is actually quite keen on Hetty, and he calls her his sweetheart. And in those days, I think that meant either going out and really liking someone. But Hetty also had another sweetheart, which was Jem, her foster brother. It says her childhood sweetheart as well, and she liked them both. And yeah, Bertie was really keen on Hetty. So there's lots of things going on in this story. Lots and lots. I'm not going to say any more about what other characters do. So after, I'm not going to say what happens to Hetty after service because she goes on quite a big adventure. Hetty tries to find her mother afterwards. Well, she already knows her mother by now, and she goes back to her. I'm not going to say any more because that's going to spoil. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening. I would give this book probably about 5 stars again, because I thought this was actually better than the other book. Even though I gave that 5 stars, I didn't know that it was going to be much better than that. So I really enjoyed this book. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell, and you'll never miss another episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.